Hi everybody. It's been a while. Usually I'm quite regular with these updates, but I've been a very busy bee over the weekend, doing what I apparently do best, which is building websites. Um, yeah, just to give a little overview of what's been going on over the weekend from what I've picked up on. Anyway, first of all, we got 300 supporters on the petition itself now, which is absolutely fantastic. That's as I say. I think I said it on Twitter, averaging out at about 100 signatures a day, which is great. Obviously, if we could get that higher, that's fantastic. But if not, that's it's going good for the moment. So thank you to everybody who's signed and shared it lately, and especially over the past 2 days. I've not forgotten about you. It's just that I've been busy, as I say. So on Saturday as well, I emailed George Howarth, who is the MP for Knowsley, and I emailed him because he's got some experience with the devastating effect that diabetes can have on certain people's lives. His daughter, who went to school with me, but she was in the year below, died from diabetes very sadly after slipping into a coma, and she passed away. I forget the exact medical term for it, but it's just not a nice, obviously not a nice thing to go through, and it shows the potential effects diabetes can have on your life. But I emailed Mr. Howarth to ask if he would be able to kind of identify some avenues in which I could take the petition and see if we can get something changed up in the higher echelons of Parliament, etc. And to also see if he will actually support it as well. I've not heard back from him yet, which is understandable, as I emailed him on the weekend, and dealing with parliamentary issues, I guess, is a real full time job. You must get hundreds and hundreds of emails each day. So yeah. The other thing is, well, the massive big thing that I've been working on is the website, which I was building to kind of have a central point in which I can operate out from and deal with everything with regards to this. Um, it also gives a link to the petition, which is a hell of a lot shorter than the one that's already up there, because at the minute, I think anybody who is over the age of, well, I don't. It's not even an issue of age. It's just anybody who doesn't have an attention span of longer than like the most normal person you could imagine would not sit there and remember that URL and type it in. It's just incredibly confusing and difficult. So the site itself has got a shortened URL, which is www.diabetesdvla.co.uk. It's not online yet because I've had some issues with regards to the web hosting company that are going to be hosting the site. It's technical for those of you who aren't into your computers that much and stuff like that, and I won't bother going into it. But essentially, it's just because I can't get onto the server. It's not the server isn't set up right for me to get onto it to upload the files. But that's currently being sorted out. So with any luck, that will be up by tomorrow, or by the end of tomorrow, should I say. Um, Essentially, the site as well allows you guys to stay informed. You can submit an email address, and when I post updates with regards to the petition, you'll be sent an email with regards to what's happening and this, that, and the other, which the change.org petition doesn't have. It doesn't enable that functionality, which is a bit of a shortcoming in it, but it does everything else great. So can't complain. But yeah, so if you get a chance to, when the site's up, I'll obviously post an update to let everybody know that it's up and going. Just head on there and add your email in, and away you go. Um, I had a close call as well with my job on Saturday, because I had to discuss with them what was going to be happening with regards to me getting into work, because I work in a farm essentially on Netherley. I don't do rural jobs on the farm. I'm a web programmer down there in one of the farmhouses, but it's difficult for me to get there, as I explained in the previous video. Now, graciously, they've said that they will give me 50% of the taxi costs, which is really good. Purely because I'm now kind of back onto the expenditure that I was on with the car, so that's all good. But there was a moment there where it could have gone completely the other way, and I may not have ended up with a job at all, which is obviously one of the very real effects of the directive, and what kind of impact it has on your life. So yeah, I mean, I've been travelling around on the bus lately, which is quite nice actually in one respect, because I get some time to sit and think rather than driving around all the time. But in the same breath, it's really quite not debilitating, but it's not ideal. Me and my girlfriend were talking today, and one of our favourite things to do is to just kind of go out in the summer and put the windows down and put some music on, and have a long drive. It might be this summer that we don't actually get to do that. We usually try and get down to some festivals as well and stuff, and it looks like that's going to be more difficult now than what it was. I mean, the issue here is there's extra planning involved, and I've not based my life around not being able to drive at all. In fact, I based it around being able to drive, and all of this is quite difficult, especially when you just kind of dropped into it. I really feel for people who are kind of out in rural areas, who may have been dealing with the situation that I've been dealing with. I mean, how are these people going to get supplies for themselves and things? I may have mentioned this in a previous update, but it's still playing on my mind a lot. So yeah. Other than that, this is going to be a bit of a short update, by the way, just because I've been so busy with the website, and that's got loads of things in it that I don't think the majority of people will be interested in hearing about. But the news broadcast is tomorrow, so that's 6 o'clock on ITV, and that's shown in the Granada region. As I say, I'll get back to those who aren't in the Granada region and want to have a look at it, with a link or something, to ITV's version of the iPlayer, which I'm guessing they have. I've not really looked into it yet because I've been so busy with other stuff. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to try and get onto the radio this week on a couple of local radio stations here. I'm going to ask the health editor of the Echo if she would still be interested in doing a story, and basically just hit up any other media outlet that I possibly can that's in the local area. So yeah, to finish off, just want to say thank you all, obviously, very, very much again for signing and for sharing, and let's just make sure that we can put it out there and we are getting it shared around to people, because I know at this stage sometimes petitions lose a little bit of the momentum because the initial kind of fires died down out of it. But if we can try and keep it going and keep people aware of it, then that would be fantastic. And I'm very appreciative of where we've managed to get to so far. But if we could take it that little bit further, that would be great. But yeah, just remember that we're trying to do this for people further down the line, kids, and other people who may not, other diabetics who might not be in this situation yet but might face it in the future. Just keep them in mind. But yeah, I'll speak to you tomorrow anyway. I'm in work tomorrow, so I'm going to have a little bit of time to be able to do stuff. But I hope you enjoy the broadcast. I hope it comes across well for those of you who can see it. And yeah, I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye bye.